Mrs. Mary had just smiled brightly, recalling her high school prom night. She remembered the cream-colored dress, the classical music, and the sudden rain. But just 10 minutes later, she turned to her son and softly asked, "Sweetheart, who's coming to visit me today?" The whole family chuckled gently, thinking she was just making light conversation. But the son's eyes froze. His smile slowly faded. Because this wasn't the first time. And in his mother's distant gaze, he saw something unusual, as if she were trying to find her way through a light fog in her mind. It was a moment that made his heart sink. For many seniors, it begins just like that. Not with clear warning signs, but with repeated questions. With stories told again, just after being told. With eyes drifting away mid-conversation. Many believe it's just a normal part of aging. But is it only age? Or a quiet whisper from a fading memory? Is it a disease? When a senior forgets who just called, we think it's nothing unusual. When they repeat an old story again and again, we simply nod and smile. When they fumble in their own familiar kitchen, we say they're tired and step in to help. But what if those moments keep happening more often? What if our loved one seems lost in memories from just yesterday? What if forgetfulness is no longer harmless, but a silent, growing concern? Could this be more than just aging? Could it be the first sign of a memory slowly fading? Many seniors hide their confusion with a gentle smile or by changing the subject. Many families don't notice because it arrives too slowly, too softly. And then one day, we ask ourselves, what moment did I miss? The moment when I still could have helped, just a little earlier? Today's video won't just help you spot early signs of memory decline. We'll learn how to tell the difference between what's normal and what's a serious warning. No more confusion or brushing off the little changes in our loved ones. You'll walk away with a roadmap to observe memory more accurately. So you'll know when it's time to seek medical help and when simple daily support is enough. Because many seniors can stay independent if someone close notices in time. Sometimes, one timely action can stop memory from slipping further. You'll no longer fear the repeated questions because you'll know what they're really saying. By the end of this video, you'll get a list of clear signs of temporary memory loss, a powerful contrast story showing what happens when warning signs are missed, a practical daily checklist to track memory at home. The most important thing is not to cure, but to maintain the connection that is fading every day. And to do that, you need to understand what is happening in the brain of seniors. Now we will go into the mechanisms and explain them. Memory doesn't live in just one spot in the brain. It's a web of connections spread out like a city glowing at night. Every time we recall something, it's like lights turning on in different brain areas. It's the teamwork of the temporal lobes, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex. They record, store, retrieve, and help decide what matters most. In younger people, these signals flow smoothly, like cars on a fast highway. But in seniors, that road starts to crack and slow down. Nerve cells begin to shrink, and messengers between them move more slowly. Regions like the hippocampus can even shrink with age and ongoing stress. Those days when your mind feels foggy, that feeling isn't just in your head. It's a real slowdown in the brain's memory connections. Like a map with smeared ink. You still know the way, but you're unsure of the turns. On top of that, stress, poor sleep, and a diet low in B vitamins or omega-3s make things worse. When you don't sleep deeply, the brain can't clean up, and memories don't settle in. When your diet lacks nutrients, nerve cells are like wires without steady power. And when negative emotions linger, memory quietly retreats, like lights running out of battery. These changes don't just happen in those with disease. They can affect healthy seniors too, if ignored. Don't let the small repetition fool you into thinking everything is fine. It's the seemingly small behaviors that are the first map to getting seniors diagnosed early and loved at the right time. Specific signs and behaviors. Not every forgotten name means something is wrong, but some very subtle signs can be the very first clues. Below are 3 groups of signs seniors should pay close attention to. Small blue diamond group 1. Cognition, memory. 1. Forgetting something that just happened minutes ago. Example: just boiled water, then asked, did I boil the water? This is a classic sign of short-term memory loss in seniors. 2. Repeating the same question multiple times a day. Where did you say you're going again? Asked 4 to 5 times, even after a clear answer. Seniors are often misunderstood as being absent-minded, but this may be the first warning sign. 3. Forgetting names of close relatives or calling them by the wrong name repeatedly. Calling a grandchild by their child's name or using a friend's name from 20 years ago. This happens when long-term memories crowd out short-term memory in the senior's brain. Small blue diamond group 2. Movement, spatial awareness. For getting lost in a familiar home. A senior walks to the kitchen for water, then forgets why they went. Sometimes, they stand in the middle of a room, unsure of what they were looking for. 5. Putting things in the wrong place, then not remembering it. Phone in the fridge, remote control in the rice jar. This happens more as spatial organization skills begin to decline. Small blue diamond group 3. Interaction, emotion, language. 6. Stopping mid-sentence, forgetting what they wanted to say. A senior is telling a story, then pauses and says, never mind, I forgot. This isn't just old age babble. It's a sign of disrupted language function. 7. Avoiding contact, pulling away from conversation, or becoming impatient. Once cheerful, now withdrawn or irritated for no clear reason. Seniors may feel like they can't keep up and begin to feel ashamed. These signs are often dismissed as normal aging. But when they repeat over time, they shouldn't be ignored. Because with memory, what fades may disappear completely if left unchecked. And when seniors lose their memory, their deepest fear isn't forgetting that it's being left behind. Specific signs and behaviors. Mrs. Clara, 71 years old, lives with her husband in the suburbs of Oregon. Each morning, Mr. John makes coffee, and she sets the breakfast table. One day, Mrs. Clara stood still in front of the fridge, forgetting what she came for. Mr. John chuckled gently. You forgot the milk again, didn't you? But Mrs. Clara's eyes no longer smiled. Only confusion and quiet sadness remained. That night, Mr. John searched online, signs of memory loss in seniors. The next morning, they went to see a specialist together. 3 months later, with proper guidance, note-taking, memory games, deep breathing, Mrs. Clara still joined her weekend dance class. She told childhood stories to her granddaughter, eyes sparkling, smiles soft and warm. Because Mr. John had chosen to trust one very small sign at just the right time. Then there's Mr. Marvin, 74 years old, in Florida, once a beloved history teacher. When he started calling his former students by the wrong names, his daughter just laughed. Dad, you're getting so forgetful lately. He forgot to turn off the stove, burned a pot black, then forgot his pet's name of 6 years. The family thought it was just old age, until he no longer recognized his own wife. One day, she sat by his bedside, holding his hand for a long while. But he stared blankly, like she was a stranger. No words left. Not even a nod. Every connection had faded, dissolving into a quiet emptiness. Sometimes, the difference is not in intelligence, but in a deep enough look. Because just one missed moment can make us lose the opportunity to understand and love at the right time. Common misunderstandings and sayings that make us miss golden opportunities. Old people forget things. That's just how it is. It's a common phrase in many families with seniors. It sounds harmless, but it often masks a dangerous signal. When a senior forgets their grandchild's name, we laugh it off. She's just being silly. When they repeat the same story 3 times, we smile. That's so typical of Dad. But are we missing the chance for an early diagnosis? Some people still believe. The more natural it is, the better for the brain. Seeing a doctor will just worry them. Let's leave it be. These beliefs have caused many seniors to miss their golden window for recovery. By the time symptoms are clear, the condition may already be harder to treat. Others think, as long as they eat well, that's enough. No need to do more. But the brain after 60 is like an aging garden. Without daily care, memory weeds will grow, hiding the way home. Another misunderstanding. Losing a little memory doesn't really change anything. But for seniors, a name or a small habit is part of who they are. When someone forgets how to make their favorite cup of tea, they begin to lose a part of themselves. Every seemingly harmless remark could mark the end of a beautiful memory. Every time we ignore it, we inch closer to a fading connection. Love is not just felt, it is acted upon at the right time. And sometimes, a simple list can hold a valuable memory. Action checklist. To avoid missing the subtle signs of temporary memory loss. Caregivers of seniors need a clear, easy-to-follow guide. No medical devices required, just careful observation and a notebook. Pushpin Step 1. Monitor symptoms for 7 consecutive days. Each day, spend 10 to 15 minutes observing your loved one at key moments. Early morning after waking up. Midday during meals or rest. Evening after family time or watching TV. Clipboard suggested checklist. White heavy checkmark communication, cognition. Do they repeat the same questions throughout the day? Do they remember names of close family or friends? Do they stop mid-sentence, forgetting a word or idea? Do they struggle to recall simple, familiar words? White heavy checkmark movement, daily activities. Do they often misplace everyday items like glasses, wallet, or phone? Do they ever enter the kitchen and forget why they went? Do they mix up routines, like eating lunch twice or sleeping during the day? White heavy checkmark emotions, behavior. Do they get unreasonably upset over small memory lapses? Do they avoid social contact or withdraw from family gatherings? Do they show signs of worry, low confidence, or growing dependence? Pushpin Step 2. Take notes and consult a doctor if needed. Write down any signs that repeat over the week. Take photos or short videos, if appropriate, to help explain clearly. Record the date, time, and situation to track frequency and severity. Pushpin Step 3. Questions to ask the doctor. Could this be an early sign of dementia? What tests can help diagnose more accurately? Are there diets, routines, or exercises that support memory? Could current medications be affecting their memory? Pushpin Simple at-home memory checks, easy to apply. Ask the senior to describe their morning trip to the market. Ask them to recall one small detail from lunch. Try simple games like memory cards or picture matching. Ask them to list 5 tasks for tomorrow, then check again after 2 hours. A little care and observation can protect an entire piece of memory. Little signs are not just signs, they are silent calls from a lost heart. Just stop for a moment. You may find they are still there, waiting to be touched with love. Heart connection. There are moments that pass through life so gently, yet leave a deep emptiness in the hearts of those who remain. One day, Mrs. Helen, 74 years old, stood still in the kitchen for 10 full minutes. She held a spoon in her hand, staring at the wide-open fridge. Her granddaughter asked, "Grandma, are you looking for something?" She turned and smiled softly. "I forgot what I was about to do." But that smile couldn't hide the quiet sadness and hesitation in her eyes. Family often thinks, a little forgetfulness comes with age. But that little bit, if no one notices, can grow like ink slowly bleeding through memory. It steals the most ordinary things, like how to make morning milk tea, like remembering the name of a best friend who passed away, or simply the path from the living room to the porch. Memory is not just recall. It is a piece of identity, a piece of dignity, and a bridge of connection. A person can endure aging, but feeling forgotten, misunderstood, is what truly makes them give up. If that grandchild hadn't asked a simple question, if no one had stood close enough to notice that confused gaze, what might have happened next? Maybe just a missed meal, but maybe A quiet slide into memory loss, unnoticed, unheld, unspoken. Seniors don't need a doctor every hour. They need a watchful eye, a caring arm at the right moment. Sometimes, just one small question is enough to hold on to years of meaningful life. Because memory loss isn't just a medical issue. It's a story of love, a story of presence, and of the gentle responsibility we owe one another. You are the one who protects the dignity of the person you love. Temporary memory loss is not a sentence. It is a whisper, hoping someone will listen and walk beside them in time. Every senior deserves to live fully, gray hair and fading memory included, because their dignity isn't defined by what they remember, but by the love they receive and the life they're still allowed to cherish. You may not be able to heal everything, but you can be the one who marks the moments that matter. You can be the one who says, "I'm here. I understand. I'm listening." Don't let the first signs go unnoticed. Don't let a lost gaze become the last memory you hold. Let's protect connection together. Let your loved one know that even if memory fades, your presence and your love are always here. Backhand index pointing right. Have you ever seen signs like these in someone you love? Share your story in the comments to help more seniors and families stay aware and supported. Backhand index pointing right. And if you're caring for a parent, send this video to relatives and loved ones. The ones who need to know before it's too late to hold on to something beautiful. Temporary memory loss is not just simple forgetfulness. It's the first signal, like a clock out of sync, waiting for someone to help reset it. Pushpin common signs. Repeating the same question over and over. Calling loved ones by the wrong name. Getting confused in the kitchen. Forgetting to turn off the stove or faucet. Staring blankly at the TV, not following the content. Pushpin suggested checklist. Track repeated behaviors over 7 days. Gently ask, what were you thinking at that moment? Observe reactions to changes in routine or surroundings. Remember, small signs are the body's quiet way of calling for help. Getting lost inside the home. Don't wait until memory loses itself. Red Heart and you are the one who can guide seniors back home, within their own mind.